Moses. I was adopted from the riverbank. There's something to the way reeds sway in wind, the way they lean down low, that makes me thank the one who gave me life. Yet I rescind the urge to make my home the water's edge, though often in this desert all I see are lotuses where sand should be, and sedge instead of the occasional palm tree. I tire of this desolation, miss the structured boats, scaled pyramids, ripe trees. But all I hear are crying babies, hiss of camels. All around me, fear, unease. How can I ever guide my people home when my spirit is trapped beneath the foam? When my spirit is trapped beneath the foam, beneath the Nile's cool and trickling waves, I long for fertile banks, the rich dark loam. Out in this wasteland, all I see are graves. The river is my lineage. And yet, there's something else that keeps me walking on. I go because I'm paying off a debt that never can be paid in full. Each dawn and every sunset, I become a reed, bowing in weariness. Why am I led to thank this wild mystery? I need my jealous God, the manna, desert bread, the burning bush, the basket that held me when I, an infant, floated helplessly. These poems are about Job. And of course, we all know Job from Scripture. He's the guy that everything bad happened to, and he had to suffer a great deal. And all the time, God loved him. So here's Job addresses God. Then Job began to tear his cloak and cut off his hair. Job 1:20. The silence is all. Though I want to split the stillness of this day with fractured cries and tear this room apart, I will admit that such a sundering would not be wise. What would it do to shatter every dish, or smash the vases, break each cup and bowl? How would that change what I've begun to wish? That I could go right back to being whole, even if it meant forgetting you, and the great pain that loving you has brought. I tore my hair today. You understand? My clothing, too. I wait for you to cry out. Ask me not to harm myself. I won't. But I know loneliness. And God, you don't. God answers Job. Who is this that obscures divine plans with words of ignorance? Where were you when I founded the earth? Job 38. You say I don't know loneliness. What, Job? You've never seen the chasms between stars? Observe the distance of your heart, then probe yourself for answers. Look down at your scars. You think I put them there. I know. But pain is from your world, not mine. And all the while I plan my entrance. Gardens all need rain to raise their beauty. My plot grows a trial of such deep suffering. The torn curtain of a great temple will be how I rend the earth of sleep. Sacrifice makes certain a love that will not hesitate or end. Mend yourself now. Follow my command. I'm pierced in ways you'll never understand. The second half of that double-volume book is the Marionette's Ascent, and in it we meet Marion, a highly opinionated puppet. Like Dante, Marion travels through purgatory, hell, and heaven in the forms of a nursery, that's her purgatory, a hotel room, hell, and a church. As a puppet, Marion has ties that bind her. She cannot choose how to move her arms and limbs, but she says, "There is no string made to move my mind." The main theme of this collection is free will. Marion says, free will is choosing what you can. The rest It's dancing through restraint that is the test. We don't have the ability to choose everything that happens to us in life. What we can always choose is how we respond. Here's an excerpt from her Marionette's Manifesto. I'd like to shake your hand. Come, pull my string. It's nice to meet you. Call me Marion. I've dropped the et. I'm never one to cling to lame conventions. Libertarian, that's me. I always choose the things I can. I move for the manipulator, whirl within a cage of strings. I am the bird whose flight depends upon a coop of strands, dangling from the manipulator's hands. Dangling from the manipulator's hands, I'm born. The other puppets think he's God. He made me. But this cot doll understands that even though he makes me bow and nod, chose auburn for my hair, blue for my eyes, he didn't make himself. Someone made him. Whoever made the air that makes trees dunk their leaves into the lake, each shifting crash of pressure, high to low, I think that one designed freedom in order, just the way the sunset colors vary, but the sun sets every night. Just so my strings each day, allowing me to move. Oh, ordered flight. Passion can soar within constraints, and who on earth can be completely free? Each night she'll tire, need to rest. My point of view? Free will is choosing what you can. The rest? It's dancing through restraint that is the test. And from Marion's Purgatory, the toy room, she offers her cynical take on several toys. I'll leave you with the one, which is Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box. Redundant. The first time he popped, I jumped. He laughed. Jack is an ass. A giddy fool. He shook a little side to side, then slumped back into that preposterous footstool he calls his box. I wish it were his tomb. And then the music, if it can be called by such a name, begins again. The room is filled with tinny noise. I am appalled each time I hear it, like a music box about to break chimed with the ice cream truck. I'd like to enlist chains and sturdy locks to keep Jack down. I'd like to get him stuck. He rises up like heartburn. Fear or fun? What is his point, and when will he be done? And this poem, it's a special one to me. This is an older poem of mine that won first prize from the Long Island University Poetry Center in 2002, and it's about my dad. Planting at Your Grave. It is warm for November, and the earth is dry and brittle, starved for flowers. I have to claw at the grass, pull it back by the hair, trek back and forth to the water hose, muddy the soil like a child about to make pies. Your child for only 10 years. I am playing again. I am sitting on your sun-drenched lap. I bury my hands in the womb of the dirt, picking through the weeds, letting myself take root, and all the time I feel like scratching my way down to you. But that thought passes as I step back and see what I've planted. Purple mums and Gerber daisies. Still, I want your voice, your hand, your guidance. I want visitation rights. But I'll come when I'm called, Daddy, only then. You should be loving this. You had to force me to do yard work, and here I am with rake and shovel, tending what I can for you. Look at these purple mums and Gerber daisies, and see your daughter planted on your grave. I am not rooted here. Watch me walk into the world and live the hell out of it. I am not dead. Not most of me. And this next poem is dedicated to my husband, Mark. I wrote this when we were newlyweds, still living at that time in the historic Joseph Lloyd Manor in Lloyd Harbor. In his youth, my husband was caretaker there. In this poem, the house provides a metaphor for our love. The Caretaker. I took shelter with my caretaker spouse. He works a business too, but still finds time to painstakingly look after this house. He has a garden, basil, garlic, thyme, between two gardens with hand-laid fieldstone walls. He keeps the grasses trimmed, he grooms the grounds, and knows each board that buckles in the halls. He is heir to these patient, steady rounds. His father restored Lloyd Manor, and both men know the art of keeping history safe. And sometimes I am that house, garden, growth, and brokenness, bold warrior, bruised waif. He tends my edges, sifts through my debris, and brings his own burdens to rest in me. And I'd like to close with this. If you have your programs, actually it's the white program. I chose this as the keepsake poem. So earlier, I told the story of my uncle, Thomas Brady, who brought me Birch Bark. He told me, write your poems on these, giving my work deeper meaning and deeper magic even at that tender age. I close with that poem, the one I've chosen to include as a keepsake. This poem is included in my book, A Field Guide to the Muses, and it's dedicated to him, with love and admiration unto infinity. Birch Bark. My uncle brought me the skin of trees as an empty manuscript. Shed, husked scales gathered from woods, fallen footnotes of birch bark with dark grace notes like type on white paper. He placed them in a canvas bag, gave them to the child I was, said, write your poems on these. Tonight in this dusk-spilled forest, all is green, dusty ground full warm, air pond cool. I remember first poems. They, like scrawled henna on wrists of wood, silent pulse waiting beneath, pictographs of what I hoped to reveal. I still seek to translate the grains of wood he gathered, find the language, splintered hieroglyphs he left, meaning encoded there. Each word he never spoke was laid to rest with him, and if even one of them falls from my fingers as night inks the woods in stillness, one tree ring is added to this book. Thank you.
Having you up here reminded me of my Latin high school course in Res Ipse Loquitur, the thing speaks for itself. Aren't you to say that? Thank you, Annabelle. Absolutely marvelous. We are going to present you the Long Island Poet of the Year plaque, but first I want to share with you a letter that we received from Kirsten Gillebrand, the United States Senator, and it is addressed to Miss Moseley, and it reads, Dear Miss Moseley, it gives me great pleasure to congratulate you on being named Long Island's 214 Long Island Poet of the Year. I am grateful for your contributions to New York's creative arts, and I thank you for your unparalleled commitment to your community. I am grateful to individuals like you who remind us of the values, lessons, and ideals that will help us build a strong future for our nation. Your efforts amplify the positive contributions an individual can make to their profession, community, and country. Please accept my congratulations and best wishes for many more years of continued success. Sincerely, Kirsten Gillebrand, United States Senator. Very happy to share that.